how to make pancakes, and the purpose of this lab in this unit is to allow you to practice using a variety of different tools that we'll be using, and then also to kind of experiment with some of the different ingredients and learn about the functions of each one. So we're going to start out with our dry ingredients, and I have everything already pre-measured and ready to go, which is what you will be doing when you actually do this lab in class. So we have our flour, we have sugar, baking powder, which is our leavening agent, salt, and nutmeg. With our wet ingredients, we have milk, the egg, which I've already beaten for us, and then we have our butter and vanilla as well. So I'll explain those as we get to them. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is mix your dry ingredients together. So first we have our flour. Flour is actually probably the most important ingredient in our pancake recipe. Flour is what thickens the batter. It kind of provides structure to the actual product. So flour is very, very important in this recipe. Our next ingredient is sugar, and that's to give it that sweet flavor that everyone loves with pancakes. Next one is baking powder. Baking powder is another really important ingredient in our pancake recipe. What baking powder does is the leavening agent. I think I mentioned that before. So it actually helps the pancake rise. It's what makes it that fluffy structure instead of just being a flat kind of blob. Okay, so we have our baking powder. Next is our salt. What salt does is it actually brings out the other flavors of the sugar and the vanilla and the nutmeg, other things that we have in our pancake mix. And our last dry ingredient is the nutmeg. And again, that just adds some extra flavor in there. Up as I go. Okay, so next we will be whisking our dry ingredients together, just making sure we mix them really nice. Everything's mixed throughout. Okay. Next we'll go to our wet ingredients. For our wet ingredients, I already showed you the egg. It's been beaten. Beaten really just means that you mix it up really good. The egg white and the yolk are mixed together. That in there. Then we're going to whisk in the milk, which I already have measured. You're using 1.5 cup plus 2 tablespoons of milk. And then I'm going to measure out that ½ teaspoon of vanilla that we're using. You want to make sure that you don't ever measure over your bowl in case you have too much on there, falls in there, and you have too much. So make sure you measure outside of your bowl. Together. Just mix it up really nice. Then we're going to add our butter into our wet ingredient mixture. Oops. What the butter does, by putting the butter in the mixture, it gives the batter a lot of flavor. It gives it that really smooth texture that you really like in your pancakes. And whisk that in there. Mix it up really well. The butter that you'll be using in class will already be softened, so it'll be a lot easier to mix together. Alright, we're back with the rest of our pancake lab. The next step is combining the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients together. What you're going to do is take your bowl of wet ingredients, pour it into the dry ingredients, and use a rubber scraper to make sure you get everything out of there. And then you're going to use your whisk again and whisk everything together. You want to make sure that you don't leave any clumps. One of the reasons that you're using a whisk is so that you can make sure that all of the clumps of dry ingredients get mixed in really well. You don't want any clumps of dry. You want it all to be a really moist, smooth batter. All the clumps of butter, all the clumps of dry ingredients. You don't want to bite into your pancake and have a clump of flour. That would not taste good at all. our skillet, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, the next thing we have to do is prepare our skillet. So we want to make sure you have either your induction burner, or you want to make sure the range, if you're using that, you want it to be on medium heat. So right around 250. The reason you want it on medium heat is if you have it too hot, you're trying to bake the pancakes very quickly. One side is going to bake really fast, and you're going to flip it over. The other side's going to bake fast, but the inside isn't going to have time to bake. So you want to make sure that it gets an even bake all the way around. Okay, so we have our pancake mixture right here. We're going to use a portion scoop to actually scoop out the batter and put it onto the skillet. What a portion scoop is going to do, put around our butter real quick. What a portion scoop is going to do is it's going to make sure that each pancake is the same size and contains the same amount of ingredients. You want to make sure that you get enough butter in your skillet to coat the whole thing. Take your portion scoop, scoop out your batter, set it onto your skillet. It'll take about 2 minutes for the pancake to start cooking. Once you see bubbles at the top right on the surface, that means the pancake is ready to be flipped over to the other side. Okay, our pancake is just about ready to be flipped. You can see the bubbles that are starting to form at the top. We're going to use a turner or a spatula to actually flip our pancake over. There we go. We're going to wait another minute until the next side is done, and then our pancake will be finished. Alright, our pancake is just about done. Make sure when you're turning your pancake, or even right before you take it off the skillet, make sure you're not smashing it down. You don't want your pancakes to be flat. You want them to be really nice and fluffy. So when your pancake is all done, like that. Have a great day.